Welcome back to the Win with Dice podcast, a podcast featuring members of the Win with Dice team. I'm Calvin, and I'm joined here by Ramon.
Hey guys, Happy New Year! Once again, we're in a new year, 2025. Hope the holidays was treating you well. But yeah, this is the Win with Dice podcast. Podcast all about tabletop RPGs. Calvin and I take a casual personal hobby, so on this casual ass podcast, we like to talk about the casual games we play and the cool, wonderful people we get to casually have fun with, I guess. I don't know why I'm adding all this stuff into the intro, but it's the first video of the year, or I guess podcast, my bad.
Yes. Very casual 2025.
Yeah, casual. It's nothing crazy is happening. You could still have fun. Don't worry about it. If you're new to tabletop RPGs, hey, don't worry about it. Go find some friends at a table and go have some fun. And if you are a player at someone's table, maybe it's your turn to jump behind the GM screen and give it a whirl.
Indeed. So this week, as is now tradition, we are going to recap our 2024, basically go over all the things that we accomplished with the channel in the year, and also our favorite part of this yearly tradition is we take a look at the things we said we would do in 2024 and see if we actually lived up to those standards. I don't know, Ramon, you nervous about that?
I hate this every year. I don't look forward to this because I set the bar so high and I always fail to achieve it.
I don't know. I think we did pretty good. I'm going to call it and say we did pretty good.
I don't know. Maybe you did. Calvin's carrying the team. I feel like I didn't.
I'm willing to share. All right. But before we get into all of that fun stuff, we have to get to the most important part of the show, the Win with Dice Weekly GM Tip of the Week.
Yes, the Win with Dice Weekly GM Tip of the Week, brought to you by me. I feel like we talked a lot, we'll get into this, but we talked a lot about a bunch of new things that came out in 2024. New books from Paizo, some new games from Tom and Kane and all of his stuff. Lancer stuff came out. There's just like always like new rules and books and cool stuff coming out there, which could be kind of overwhelming to try and shoehorn like a whole ass rule system into a currently running game or maybe in a system that you like to run. So, the tip of the week would just be to take parts of the buffalo. Don't put the whole buffalo in, you know what I mean? Just take small rule sets or small, items or whatever, slowly integrate them into your game and make it your own, but you don't have to play with all the rules, even if it comes in a whole book, you know what I mean? Whatever makes it work, make the game work for you. You don't have to work for the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you had mentioned this just before we started recording, and it got me thinking about my Rule of Coin campaign, which is sort of my urban fantasy campaign. And I did actually kind of introduce quite a few things to the players very recently because I was working on some new heist mechanics. I was working on some base building mechanics. I was working on some NPC recruitment mechanics, but what I didn't think about was that we wouldn't really have time in a session to cover everything all at once. So we didn't really get into like the base building stuff, but we did just kind of like tap on some of the NPC stuff and some of the heist stuff. And in the process, I realized some updates I need to make to my mechanics because I kind of ported them over from stuff like Lancer and Blades in the Dark, and there are some differences that I need to account for in Pathfinder. But yeah, like I think another thing, in addition to just going in smoothly with these game mechanics, is realizing that you might not have time to cover everything you want to. So you have to prioritize, what's going to be the more immediate thing, and what's going to be something that you can mention and then develop as you have more time to actually interact with it.
Yeah, and also kind of think of like the reason why you're adding it. Like obviously it's cool and you might find it to be exciting, but you gotta think of some stuff from like your player's perspective as well. And it needs at least one person in the party to be excited about or really want to use those rules for it to work. If not, then it's kind of like you're forcing your players to interact with this thing that isn't fun, I guess.
Yeah. And speaking from experience also, like if you bring it up to the players and they mention they want to do a certain specific thing with that rule set, but you might not have it, you might not have it yet, or you might not have developed it yourself yet, it'll give you a hint as to what sort of direction you can go in, if these are homebrew rules that you're dealing with or adopting something else.
Yeah, I think mostly a lot of it is like the GM would be, that's a cool idea, and then just adds it in. And usually it is for specific players, for like extra mechanics and stuff like that, or like it would be like setting wise, right? Like in your Rule of Coin game.
I mean, actually, Rule of Corn sounds pretty good.
Rule of Corn. Yeah.
I'm kind of hungry right now.
Skull for the skull for the throat.
All right. Yeah, anything else you want to add to that?
As I drink a sip of water. No. I mean, I think that's basically the just if you do want to add in, or you get really excited about this new book you bought, maybe either plan it out from the beginning, or if you do want to add it into your game, add it in slowly. You don't have to use all of the rules at once.
Okay. Well, let's get into the episode proper, the first episode of the new year, where we are going to, again, just recap all of our stuff from 2024. And as per usual, we're going to start off with our analytics. On the day we're recording this, there's like a couple days left in the year, but unless something happens on the 31st, I think these numbers are going to be pretty accurate, to be fair. So, starting off, in 2024, the channel reached 64.7k views, so 64,700 views, which is up from the 53k that we had last year. We got, and this is pretty good, 11.4k watch time in hours, which is a little more than double what we did last year. I think it's around double, because last year we did like 5.4, so double that would be 10.8. So yeah, more than double the watch time we had last year. In addition, we got 477 subs this year, which is definitely more than double what we got last year, which is 156.
We really appreciate all the new subscribers. Thank you guys for clicking that subscribe button and listening to our stuff. Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah, and this is just on YouTube. Like, this isn't even including like the Spotify stuff as well. So yeah, just, as always, really grateful for all the people who are showing up for the channel, whatever platform we're on, and just hanging out and listening to us gush about the games we enjoy playing. Yeah, I think on Spotify we're doing pretty well as well. We recently passed like 1,000 streams or something like that. Yeah, we hit 1,050. I'm just looking at it right now. 483 hours of listening time on Spotify.
That's so wild.
It really is.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, thank you guys so much for checking out the Boom with Dice podcast. This is a very silly podcast. I feel like, not to downplay this podcast, but yeah, I'm glad that you guys are having fun, because we're having fun. I think that's basically it. I don't know. We don't really have any more alternatives of doing this thing other than it's kind of cool to talk about the things that we like.
I mean, that's basically it. I think hopefully that's what people enjoy from the show, is just we talk about things we like.
Yeah, it's like that, and trying to get more people to GM. But I think a lot of people that tune in are GMs. Well, I guess actually at the beginning, a lot of people we know have now become GMs, so that's pretty cool. That's like a tangible effect.
That is my favorite thing, yes. But as always, as we say at the beginning of the show, we just want people on the other side of the screen. So, in addition to what we did this year, we did hit the 2024 goal of 1,000 subscribers, which very happy about. We got 26k total watch hours this year, which is almost 3 years worth of time. It's like 2.9 something years. And we reached 200 podcast episodes.
Yeah.
So we're doing a lot.
Oh no, there's so much AI data.
If something were to just train off of this channel, they could create perfect duplicates of us. I don't know what purpose they would use it for, but
I don't know. Well, I think that would be kind of fun. I don't know how good it would be to just train AI off of our videos just so they could just produce podcasts. Hacked. Get that cool life hack. Train your own AI to produce things that you could do.
Yeah, we'll
so
just show
you
up for
can
the
count
flim
your
flam.
money. Yeah, so you could count your money and not do anything fun.
Yes. Yeah, we'll let the AI do the work, and we'll just sit here and be bored.
Yeah,
we'll
just
cover the news, I'm sure.
No, we probably won't do that.
So last year, our top 10 videos, of course, the first session of our Lancer actual play was #1, and it continued to be this year. But this year, while last year there was mostly Lancer stuff in the top 10, this year it's also mostly Lancer. The top 5, the majority of it is Kane, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. For sure. I think it's such a cool game, and actually there's not a lot of coverage on it. I think it's like our video and a couple other videos that are out there really kind of diving into this thing. So yeah, I mean, appreciate that. I definitely know that everybody in the comment wants us to run an actual play of Kane.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know how to do it visually. Just like,
what do you mean by that?
I guess like with Lancer, at least we can like have stuff, but like there's no grid, right?
Oh,
So,
like a map and stuff. Oh.
yeah. Yeah,
I
like
mean-
I like, it's tough for me because I would like, you know how I spent a very long time I don't use Photoshop for the Lancer actual stream. I like sat there in like Roll20 and put in a bunch of like GIFs and like layering in a bunch of stuff inside of like the GM portion of the thing, and like do a bunch of transparent stuff just to get that like view that people can see like inside the ship, or like, you know, trying to find like locations so that would make sense, like adding in like the mechs and stuff like that. So like I'm a real visual person. I don't want to like run a game with people just staring at, I don't know, like a blank Roll20 sheet, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta figure that one out.
Yeah, I think we could probably get some art up on like, I don't know, Drive-Thru RPG or something, like just some stock art for like backgrounds and stuff for scenes. I think we could figure it out.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that I guess I'm jumping the gun, but
Oh yeah, we gotta save
I'll
that
put that
for what we're gonna do in 2025.
yeah, I know. Guess what I have to do.
True. But yeah, that's our analytics stuff. I'm hoping that next year we can start delving into Spotify a bit more, and specifically going to like how it's progressing over each year. But so far, I mean, I'm really happy with the progress there. I don't really have like a point of reference for it, to be honest, but I feel like we're doing pretty well considering we started only like a few months ago on there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's growing a lot faster than the YouTube channel did.
Yeah, true. Actually, it would be kind of cool. Maybe we could do like an audio drama thing where like of Kane, because you're right, there isn't like a thing to show, so maybe we just don't bother with it and just
do audio.
Just run it as like because it's more of like I guess it is just like a theater of our mind game where it's just like narrative and things like that. But and the rolls too. The rolls aren't that cool. I guess the numbers aren't that big. It's just like a D6 and you get the highest. So yeah, maybe we could just do that instead. But we'll see.
We could do that, and then even if we put it on YouTube, have a static background. Okay, well, that's for the 2025 section. We'll come back we'll circle back to that. But yeah, that's our analytics. So what we did and what we talked about this year. So I just looked over our list of episodes for this year, just wrote stuff down. As far as games go, we talked about Pathfinder, of course. Pathfinder and Lancer were basically the first games we talked about in the year. Then Starfinder 2nd Edition came up, and then of course Kane towards the end of the year. We talked about a bunch of different campaigns that are regulars on our channel, like the Pirate game, Tim's Aftermath campaign, my Fate Seer and Rule of Coin games, and also your Rise of the Rune Lords game that was just started recently.
Yeah.
We did have a few interviews this year, the first one being with Vex, talking about In Golden Flame. We had Shaka on a couple of times at least, talking about Siren Song and then helping me plan my game for Origins next year. Or this year, I should say. We had Shells on to talk about New Wild West, that Lancer project with like 30, I think it was about 30 different contributors with different art and stories and things like that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool actually.
Yeah, that's still very impressive to me. I'm very much looking forward to whatever project Shells is working on next. We had Eld on to talk about map making. Eld, who also is working on the Sword RPG and did a module for Kane recently.
Yeah, and like actually that episode of the One With Us podcast, I learned so much personally. I was like, oh, I'm an idiot. I just was like, oh, I went back, I looked at all of my old maps and I was like, ew.
Well, that's how you know you're learning.
I know, right? See, folks, you can change.
If you feel a sense of disgust about your past, that means you're learning.
It means you weren't actually that bad. You're just better now.
Exactly. Yeah, there was a lot of good advice in that episode. I think that could apply to, any sort of game design where you have to create a space, whether it be tabletop or otherwise.
And like, honestly, just kind of going back to the episode, like I also, as a player, played through Solstice Reign, and those maps are real. They're like real maps. I was like, every time I was sitting there, like looking at my being like, damn it, Eld, like, why are you so good?
Right?
I was just like, I was very impressed at how like I just couldn't get my way. But anyway, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, we'll have links to Eld's work below, because there is the Solar RPG, Shirtless on a Rooftop, and Operation Weeping Mountain for Kane, if you're looking for a quick Kane adventure to hop into. Also this year, we talked to Tom Bloom, the Lancer lead rules designer and creator of Kill 6 Billion Demons, which is an episode I know you were excited about.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. We definitely have to have Tom back on the show for him to rant more.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say for Kane, but also
RPGs. Nah, it's fine, whatever. Like.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, that's the sauce, right? Like just having somebody on and letting them go off on a topic. That's my favorite thing. I like to sit back and let someone else do the work.
That's why I'm here, folks. I do nothing but yap. But yeah, no, that interview with Tom was really sick. I would like to pick his brain more about stuff, but also just kind of like the dude just produces things that I like, and it goes straight into my dome. So like I don't know, I just don't know how he draws and makes such cool shit. Yeah, just that's basically it. Like,
I get it.
Yeah, he probably has made a lot of not cool shit, and then he just did it a whole bunch. That's how you actually get good. Like, I think this is also what we talked about on that episode, where it turns out it's just a bunch of hard work.
Yeah, that is, I think that's like part of how we ended up on that AI conversation at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was a really good episode. I'm really glad people enjoyed that. It's I don't know, there's always a bit of nervousness going into an interview, but once you start getting into that flow, when you just start having like a conversation with someone and just getting to pick their brain and their ideas, I don't know, it's always a joy.
Yeah, for sure.
In addition, we also talked to Mitchell this year. Mitchell, who has been around in the channel community. People would recognize his name from either hanging out on streams or commenting on podcast episodes. And we got to have him on a couple times to talk about his Lancer and Pathfinder campaigns, which is cool that we got a campaign recap from someone else. And we finally got to hear about all the actual cool stuff going on in that Lancer game, because we were only hearing like snippets of it before.
Yeah, like Mitchell will always put in the comments about this crazy metal campaign. Like, I was like, I finally got the whole story, and yeah, it was very excited. You should check out Mitchell's episode, because man, steal all of those fucking ideas. They're so good. Jesus Christ, they are so good. Like,
yeah. Oh man,
I wish it was a movie. That's how cool it was. Like, actually wish it was a movie. Like,
true. Yeah, I really liked hearing about like the finale of the Lancer campaign. So definitely go check out those episodes. Give them a listen if you are into Lancer or Pathfinder, because we did talk about some Pathfinder stuff, some adventure paths that also tied into some early Starfinder stuff in an interesting way. In addition this year, so yeah, we did have that Lancer NPC series. It started in February, which I didn't realize because it felt like a more recent thing. But we started talking about the Lancer NPCs in like February, and we did it sort of on and off over the course of the year. We covered a bunch of Paizo stuff, like the books and playtests, the Monster Core book, the Battlecry playtest, Starfinder, of course. We covered events like PaizoCon and Gen Con, and of course the Origins Game Fair that I went to, and it was a whole lot of fun. We had like a whole stream episode after that. We did one of our classic Flim Flam episodes, which is pretty fun. But also, something that I don't know if people have noticed because we didn't talk about directly, but there has been some visual stuff that changed for the podcast. Specifically, we had the new thumbnail designs starting in October, because you had talked about, wanting to change up the design. And hopefully people had picked up on that. I think it was October or so that you started doing a different design with them. And yeah, I like the design. Hopefully other people are enjoying it as well. It feels a bit fresh for a new layout.
I think it's just that like it was so interesting, man. Like YouTube stuff, like getting the right thumbnail. Like, I mean, I know like our thumbnails aren't really that crazy, but it's like just kind of looking back from where I started doing that and where I'm now, I'm like, yes, growth is a thing, right? Like it's pretty cool, and just kind of like weirdly setting rules for myself, and then being like, I don't actually need to follow those, like. But yeah, I hope the thumbnails are cool. Yeah, I look forward to making the thumbnail every week. It's always like a fun little thing, being like, how do I get people, like, how do I make something that looks appealing to click on, and how do I also like make sure it also is accurate to what we're talking about and has the same vibe. I know a lot of times which I just kind of I just rip the artwork from whatever thing that we're talking about if we're doing like a review or anything like that, but I do miss like making sillier thumbnails.
Yeah, I think the early ones were a lot more meme-ish.
Yeah, they're hella meme-ish, like, but now I guess I grew up.
Yeah, but I do like the new thumbnails. I hope people have noticed and are enjoying them as well. In addition, for people who are on YouTube, you may have noticed a new background animation, because I always have like a little animation going for people listening to the episode, just because it's all audio, which I change every now and then. So we got a new one starting in episode 200, as well as different backing music, which I don't know if anyone picked up on, but I was quite happy with.
Oh,
It's very hard to find a song that like it sounds cool but not too distracting, so it can be like in the background of a conversation.
I feel like there's probably is like a genre of stuff like that where it's like the background, there's like background music, but like podcast background music. I'm sure there's like lots of stuff that we could
I
find,
think if I looked for that specifically, I'd probably have an easier time, but I keep using the YouTube audio library, so I kind of have to like work around its rules. And also like the song has to be like there's songs I've heard that I like, but then there's too much energy for them to be background music, right?
Yeah, Calvin's like, I vibe too hard with this. We need to chill out more.
Exactly. Yeah, there is this one song though that like in my head is pretty much the podcast theme song. It's the one that I play first in every episode, and then the others I like shuffle around. I don't know if anyone has noticed that, but that's a thing for me.
Yeah, it's peek behind all the curtains today, every year.
All right, so our favorite channel thing this year. Ramon, I don't know if you have a thing in mind. I do have a couple. If you wanted to come up with something, I don't know if you had something right away.
Oh, about like no, we have to do the grading first, like what we did, and then we're gonna say what we're gonna do.
Oh no, that's at the end.
Oh no.
We're not doing that first. We have to dread it.
No. Okay, you go. You go first.
Okay, well, favorite channel thing this year, similarly to last year, it is doing the gaming streams. Getting into Baldur's Gate 3 this year, getting into Armored Core 6, which I wasn't really sure about because it is a very hard game, but I've been having a lot of fun with it. I had a lot of fun with Mecha Break during the beta, which we were allowed to stream. Hopefully people caught sight of that, because I think that's going to be a thing on the channel when the game is released. A couple of big series finished this year. The Remedy games, playing through Alan Wake and Control and Alan Wake 2 that finished this year, and Mass Effect, because Andromeda was another thing that was finished this year. So a whole lot of big shifts are coming for the gaming streams, which we might talk about in the future section. Just because, you know, Mass Effect I feel like was like a staple of the streams, going through all 4 of those games. Like that was a whole lot of weeks of Mass Effect, and I don't know, it still feels weird to not be playing Mass Effect weekly, even after all this time.
You gotta go find some other sci-fi party-based game to play, I guess.
I wish. I mean, I know what I want to do, so we could talk about it in the future thing. And also, I guess, just reaching the channel goal for the year of 1,000 subscribers. I was worried about it for a while. Like, up until December, I was on the fence about it, even though I never said that out loud.
That's true. I mean, I don't know if that... I was not. not like I knew that it was gonna happen, but also that was just like, oh, that sounds pretty chill. Like, I don't know, if we get it, we get it. If not, then it's all good. again, this podcast is mostly just us goofing around. So I understand. Sometimes I understand. I'm like, yeah, I understand why people don't subscribe to us. Like, like if you're not into hanging out with us, then yeah, don't worry, dude. Like, go find something else to do. I'm okay.
We do have a lot of listeners that aren't subscribed, so yeah, I guess we're.
I know. And if you are those people and you do turn in every week, make sure you're subscribed because, like, dude, those numbers are real. And they affect a bunch of YouTube stuff, and it affects us, our visibility, and straight up, like, it could be the life or death of a channel or like the content that you like. So I'm always trying to subscribe to people because, like, even if they don't produce videos very often, it's like those metrics matter to YouTube and to other sites. So yeah, if you do like somebody, even if you find somebody in your shorts via on TikTok or whatever else shorts are in, like pretty much everything, like go give them a subscribe, go figure out who they are, and yeah, go support those content creators.
Yeah, like those numbers do lend credibility to a channel in some ways.
Yeah, or at least like in the algorithm department specifically, like that those numbers matter. But for me, I have to run Kane on the channel.
No, we're not at that part yet.
Wait, which part are we talking about?
We're talking about like what our favorite thing was from this year. We're not at the we are saving that for the end, Rowan. We gotta build up to that.
Oh my god, no. I keep thinking about it. Okay, wait. The favorite thing, I don't know. You like listed a bunch of stuff. I already said my piece.
Well, hang on.
You.
I think how was your answer not the Tom Bloom interview?
It was. That's why I talked about it. And also the interview with Eld. And also every time Shaka's on. And like, actually, this entire podcast was very exciting for me. All right? Like, couldn't tell you anything specifically because I have a poor memory. And I've offloaded all my remembering to YouTube so I can just rewatch podcast episodes. So
you know what? Fair enough.
These are the best times in my life, Calvin.
They better be.
Every time we get a chance to interview somebody, it's always really fun, and I actually find like I learn a lot as a creator, as a game master, even just as a person. Sometimes it's kind of cool talking to people and kind of getting the perspective of somebody and like how they work and how they organize themselves and how they get shit done. Actually, that to me is also really cool. And people are like, and also like letting us know how hard stuff is, because sometimes you get lost in the sauce when you see something awesome and you're like, damn bro, I can never do that, and the person made it is like, damn, I had no clue how this was gonna work out. Like
yes, yeah
it kind of like humbles you a little bit. You're like, oh, okay, it's actually fine that I feel this way because everybody feels this way.
Yeah, I think that's an important thing to learn. Just pushing forward and getting the thing done. Okay, well, now I'm wondering then what your answer will be to our second to last topic of things we learned in 2024.
No, Cal, stop. I have to tell the people what I'm gonna do and then not do it.
This is the last thing, and then we'll get to paying for our crimes.
No. I feel like I let everyone down and myself.
We'll see. Okay, is there something you learned in 2024? Because I definitely learned that playing IRL with new people can be fun and can be very stressful. Because, at the convention, like, I played some Pathfinder, and that was pretty fun. But also, I did run a game, and it was very stressful. So that's why I'm hoping to be better prepared for next year. My January is just going to be mostly convention prep, to be honest. I know the convention's in June, but still, I don't want to go in there, like, umming and ahhing. But that's a future thing. That's a future thing. I'm going to leave that alone. But yeah, no, I think just playing at the convention with different people, it was a lot of fun, but also a lot of stress to run that game. But I did play Power Rangers, and that was a freaking blast.
Yeah. I guess what I learned this year was that, like, ending a campaign, like, campaigns just go off the rails, and it's okay to just let them fall apart a little bit. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you can't stick the landing, and that's okay.
That's fair, yeah.
And you always feel that, like, you're never going to get back to that cool thing that you had, but that's not true. Every campaign's the cool thing you have, and you can start right back, and, your players will get into their characters, and you fall in love with them, and then, like, we're right back to the sauce that the reason why you even started doing the hobbies.
Yeah, because it's the players more than the characters, really. It's the group.
Yeah.
I say the players, but that does include the game master as well.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes if you need to take a break from running your own setting, it's totally fine to grab a book and just do it. Grab a pre-written adventure. Like we mentioned, like a lot of the times, even though the words are like the framework's the same from like the pre-written adventure, like every GM is gonna do their own thing, and every like party is different. So the story is just gonna play out very differently. Like I have to tell you, I've already as a player, I run through Rise of the Rulers, and it has gone wildly off the rails from what I remember. because of all the nonsense that I put in there in my players. So yeah, it's already a different game from the time that I ran through it. So yeah.
That's like why I always support the idea or the phrase that game masters are in a way game designers. Because if they weren't, then every single time someone runs a pre-written adventure, it would be the same way for whoever they run it for, no matter what the circumstance. But it isn't. So.
Yeah. Actually, Matt Koval had a video out the other day about like what is this game? Like, what is this role-playing game that we all play, right? And like how like even when it was invented by those nerds back in the day, they were like arguing the entire time and nothing was set in stone. And then now, like, I think people get really like hung up on like the thing doing something the right way, when actually this whole make-believe nonsense with rules, it's a very weird thing, and you shouldn't be so serious about it. Like, and that's also a thing that's pretty wild. Like even some of the conversations they were having through like paper and pen and actually writing letters to each other, and like the conversations we're having online now, they're the exact same, and it's eerie.
True. All right, Ramon. Well, we may not have to take gaming seriously, but we do have to take our own words seriously.
Honestly, like I hope you guys understand like how much like I'm in pain. That like I'm in so much pain. I don't want to admit that I didn't do the things I did.
Well, let's get into it. So let's get into our original plans for 2024, because we did say quite a few things actually.
I know. I know what I said.
But let's get into them. So I did kind of split them up. There was some stuff that I said, some stuff that you said, and some stuff that was kind of like a thing that we were both like, oh yeah, we should both do that. I don't know. Ramon, do you want to go first?
No, you go first, Calvin.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, one thing is, so a couple of years ago, there was this thing called Dungeon 23, where it was like you build a mega dungeon by drawing one room per day. And I started off doing that, but by like March, I kind of fell off of it. And then I was like, next year, I'm gonna start doing that again. Obviously, completely did not happen. Although, maybe with Incarnate, that might be a thing I could do, but probably not. I don't want to make that commitment and then not do it. I did talk about doing that, like writing a story by running a solo RPG session or adventure, and then sort of having some sort of recap of that, because I'd seen that be done. I think the example I found that this year. But there's stuff like, oh gosh, I'm kicking myself for not remembering the channel now, but there's a channel that does like a solo RPG thing and then treats it as a recap. And I thought that'd be an interesting idea of something we can make like a shorter video of, and then still do like our regular campaign recaps in episodes where we can actually go in depth with things, as opposed to just like telling a story. I wanted to do that with Starfinder at the time. Obviously, did not do that. Did have plans to make more shorts and more shorter videos. The shorts did work out, I will say. We have weekly shorts at this point, and those are scheduled to go on for a while, and I do have to make more before we run out. Updating the blog posts on the website, that actually managed to happen. That was a bit of an uphill battle. That took several weeks, but the website is up to date now, which I'm glad I don't have to do like 100 posts now. I can just do one a week. Playlists and blog categories with the games and campaigns. Yeah, I wanted to separate all our campaigns into different playlists, so that if people wanted to hear about, like, oh, they specifically want to hear about like Pirate Campaign, or they want to hear about Fates here or whatever, those are in separate playlists, and then it's easier for us to go back and figure out like where we left off. That hasn't been done yet. We'll talk about that. And then run a tabletop stream on the channel with whatever system, and then try to figure out like players' schedule and layout. That has not happened. I've run stuff on USP, but I haven't run anything on Win with Dice yet. But it is doable, and we'll probably talk about it in the future section.
Yeah.
So, admittedly, not a lot of the content stuff I really wanted to do, but some of the background stuff, specifically the website, at least. That was the thing that did get done this year, which I am very happy that that is the case, because I don't know, I'm just glad the website's more usable now. Also, we recently posted some stuff for Tim ran a Lego related RPG of his own design, so definitely go check that out on the website, because the documents were posted up there.
Yeah, I think that was really cool, actually. Yeah, go check out that game that Tim invented,
Mm-hmm.
which is super fun. And yeah, I love the idea of getting kids into the hobby and having some fun.
Yeah, it was really cool, so hopefully people go check that out. Okay, Ramon. So you had mentioned wanting to run 1 or 2 sessions of the Pathfinders of Inion home game, sort of our adventure exploration game.
I actually said that? That's wild, man. Oh my god. That did not happen.
That was like the first thing you said. Specifically though, you mentioned wanting to run something raw and gritty with characters like fighting for their life, compared to the sort of superheroes that you had in the pirate campaign. And I kind of feel like you got at least that part with Rune Lords. I don't know if you feel the same way.
I don't. You guys are just silly superheroes in that game, but I'm glad that you don't feel it.
Okay, well, maybe it's because I get my ass beat like every session.
That's probably what it is. Because God knows everybody else is just they're so strong and they're so low level. That's not true. It's just that yeah, the wonderfulness of what's fresh produce, that ability, that feature of the phytokineticus is wild and a little game breaky, but in like a fun way, because you get to eat your fruits and vegetables, right? So
I guess.
But yeah, honestly, Rise of Ruins is fun. Characters are really fun. But yeah, I was thinking even more grittier, which we will get to.
I feel like that's probably part of this game from what I've been hearing about it. You did mention finishing Pirate Campaign and getting to the epic finale that you had planned.
Yeah, it wasn't as epic as I want to, but yeah, I guess I did do that.
I mean, we had to gauntlet towards a demon lady. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, but it felt like everyone was bare chilling. I was like, this is too chill.
Fair enough. I guess we were superheroes.
I would say like the fight, like everything leading up to it was way cooler than the actual like beating the bad guy. And I was like, yeah, I guess that's always the case.
I think Pirate Campaigns, like, I think some of the best parts of it were more in the characters, like the NPCs and stuff.
Yeah, I could have sat on that boat forever, man. Like, I had honestly
without a single fight.
Without a single fight, just flamming around for hours. But yeah, I guess we did do that. That was pretty fun.
You did talk about running Wallflower, streamed or not, like no decision on that, but just running Wallflower in general. Releasing playtest documents for the TTRPGs you were working on, and then working on one singularly until like a playtest release, or just having something to publish by the end of the year. But I don't know, you are working on something different. I don't know. Well, I guess you can decide how much you want to talk about it, though.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, like, I was going to say I got sidetracked, but, like, it wasn't, like, sidetracked. I started working on a game with Trey. He's doing with Ushaka, he's doing a card-based mech game. Go follow him on Twitter. I think he's on Blue Sky, too. That's where we post a bunch of stuff. I think not on his NHP Shaka channel, but on his personal Trey Joyner channel. You could also see like actual plays of it. And I guess that's where all of my time of working on cool indie tabletop RPGs went, was helping out on that. I think the game's like in a good place. So yeah, go hit up Akua Station, and yeah, if you want to play a cool like card-based tabletop RPG, do that. I had to learn a bunch of Excel to make the cards work in Excel, which was pretty fun.
There was also I think this might be a kind of a both of us thing, but there was also the idea of having a video where we both create a character that's based off a randomly generated description, and then we just sort of see like how we approach that character differently. For example, if it was something in Lancer, we could also have to include like random licenses and then see how we develop that character, which we did not do, but that's, I mean, still doable as a separate thing unto itself.
Yeah, for sure. I think that a lot of these stuff is a bandwidth issue.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah. I still think that video is fun, and we should probably do it.
I think it could be more fun as like an edited video than a podcast episode.
Yeah, for sure.
As for stuff that was kind of between the both of us, there was the plan to set aside time to work on channel stuff together, which I think we scheduled and had meetings for like the first couple of weeks in 2024, but we didn't really stick to that. As well, one of the things we said was working on scheduling.
Honestly, as weird as it sounds, it's like summer crushes all schedules. Like, any plans that you had in the beginning of the year, once summer hits, like, man, that weather gets going, and you're like, I don't know. Like, I should probably be liming somewhere. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, we gotta do stuff while it's cold.
Yeah, that's when the real work happens. But geez, man, summer really takes apart any time that you have. Yeah. Damn it, I have a bad score. I don't like this.
We did talk about doing more interviews, which I think we stuck to, because I'm pretty sure, I think in 2023 we didn't do too many. But yeah, we did like a bunch of interviews this year with different people, including some of the ones that I think people have been enjoying watching the most. So I think we did pretty successful there. I'm gonna say overall we get a B-.
Wow, I mean, I failed the course, but I was carried by Calvin, so thanks, Calvin.
Nah, I don't know. I think I'm giving you more credit for the pirate campaign than you're giving yourself.
Yeah, true. I think that's I've done a lot of stuff not on the channel this year, so it feels like I did a lot, but I should probably refocus and doing more stuff for you guys on the channel. So yeah, this is the time where we say the things that we have to do now.
Yes, we are now at the part of the podcast where we talk about what our plans for 2025 are.
I put that loaded gun on the table.
Gonna come back to this next year and gonna listen back and gonna make a list and just gonna be cursing our past selves.
Why did I dream so big? Like, I was like, yeah, we're gonna run like 5 games and like, I'm gonna write so much stuff, and then life happened.
True. Future Calvin, if you're listening to this, I hope you added another song to the playlist. Why not? There's something for you to do, you bum.
Listen, everybody, we always bully Future Calvin, but Future Calvin's the most hardest working person on this team. Like,
well, I hope Future Calvin appreciates that.
Okay, for 2025, for the channel, yeah, I'm gonna say, I said it before, I'm gonna go run Kane. Honestly, okay. I probably will run L's mission, I guess, for Kane. That I was reading it and it sounded pretty cool, so I'm gonna try that out. And yeah, I'm gonna run Wallflower. It may not be on stream, but I'm gonna run more stuff this year, as I said last year. But this year, I mean it.
Yeah.
Last year I was lying. You were fooled.
Take that, Pastor Ramon. He's not here to defend himself.
Yeah, I always dog on Pastor Ramon. Fuck that guy. Like, I have bad ideas. I don't know. I don't even listen to my own self. That's not true. I have great ideas.
Yeah, man.
I'm just bad at scheduling.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, run Kane. Definitely super excited about Kane, and I would like to get that up because, yeah, there actually isn't a lot of people running Kane in the onlines. So let's try that. I want to run Wallflower. That would be really cool. Actually, I would like to run just more Lancer, because I feel like I haven't really GM'd in that system in a very long time. So it would be cool to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
I would also like to run some Icon. I mean, like, because I played in a bunch of Icon stuff when it came out, so maybe I can do a one-shot of Icon, because that system's pretty cool, and there's some revampiness on it. So, yeah.
I feel like we could do, like, I don't know, one tabletop stream a month or something. I don't want to commit to that yet.
Don't you say that.
Okay. I'm not gonna put any solid numbers on anything yet.
Telling you, man, as soon as like freaking like June rolls around, it's gone. Like,
damn. Okay, so we're running more games. Kane, Lancer, Icon. Anything else?
I don't know. I feel like that's enough, because every time I say too many things, I'm always just like, I actually didn't get to it. But okay, I will transfer stuff from the stuff I didn't do this year.
Okay.
To the stuff that I'm gonna do, which is I definitely want to publish my Tales RPG stuff. So yeah, I need to get all these ideas out of me and onto eyes of the public. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that this year. I want to do that in like before summer, because after summer, like I said, like it's pretty much over until September. So yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's it for me. I don't know if there's any. Okay, Calvin, what are you gonna do?
Oh boy. Well, so one thing I for sure want to do is just be a bit more consistent with the gaming stream schedule, because admittedly it has been a bit spotty for the past couple of months, so I want to just hop into it and start being able to stick with it a bit more. I don't want to keep like skipping weeks. I think it's been a while since I've done an Armored Core stream, so I just want to get the schedule back on track, because one thing I do want to do, and this is more doable because I've kind of already planned it out, is starting Fallout. The plan was to do the first couple of Fallouts, just do very short, like 1 or 2 streams on those, and then start a stream series with Fallout 3, New Vegas, and 4. That's very doable, and I think that's going to be the thing. I think it's going to be the same way that Mass Effect was. That's going to be the thing for the next while. Definitely for the rest of the year. I think that'll be as long as it takes. I do want to do a tabletop stream on this channel. I've done them on other channels, and I would like to do one here on the home base. I would like to hang out on other channels more. Like, I want to explore around a bit more. I don't want it to sound like I love hanging out with the USB team, so I don't want anyone to think that I don't. But I also want to get better at meeting new people.
You're cheating on all 5 of us.
No. No.
I mean, yeah, it would be nice if you streamed on our channel, but it would be cool to also do stuff. Maybe I should probably stream on our channel.
Mm-hmm.
I think the long shot would be like for us to produce more types of content.
Yes.
Really? So maybe if I could do some gaming on the stream, but I'm like a bad gamer.
Oh my gosh, Ramon. Do you know
I'm not very good at games. Like,
let me check my death counter. Yeah, my death count for Alan Wake 1 was 101, which beat the record in Gotham Knights, which used to be the highest death count, which was 73. However, that was beat by Control at 132, which was recently beat by The Evil Within at 167. Ramon, I've died 254 times in Armored Core.
Well,
it's fine.
I mean, you just
don't worry about it.
I told you didn't have enough missiles, dude. Like,
that's probably the problem. Yeah, no, do not worry about it. Like, I very recently I heard the advice as far as streaming goes of just like, you gotta let go of any sense of embarrassment, otherwise it's not gonna happen.
Alright, well, maybe I'll stream some fighting games on the channel, because that's really what I've been doing. But I don't think people want to see me lose at Tekken, so that's fine. Like,
I don't know.
We'll vibe out and see.
Yeah, well, we can figure it out. We can even do co-op stuff if you want to dip your toes into it first and then ease in. I think like one of our first things was like a co-op Sentinels game.
Yeah, I was gonna say too. Maybe we should just play Helldivers. We've been doing that for a while.
Yeah. Yes, that has been Payne, one of our friends, and who's in some of the campaigns, has been talking about that. So who knows? That could be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, gaming streams, tabletop stream, keeping up the shorts per week. I would like to do that, so I do have to work on more shorts. Working on shorts is actually like the podcast shorts. I can just take a clip of the podcast, like our tip of the week clip, and that can be pretty consistent. It's the gaming ones I have a bit more trouble with, because I have to be like, did something fun happen several weeks ago?
Did something fun happen?
This is why I need people in chat when I stream, because then I can just look back and it's like, oh, someone said Lamau in chat. That was probably something clippable. So yeah, those are a bit tougher, because I kind of have to like rewatch the stream and be like, oh yeah, this happened, and do that. The editing process I figured out at least, so. But yeah, I want to keep those up for as long as possible, and I do want to have some sort of video series on the channel of short videos that are not 3-hour streams or 1-hour podcast episodes, like something under 30 minutes, closer to 20 if possible.
Yeah, it
or
would be
like
cool
10,
if it was 10.
knows?
Oh my god, a 10-minute thing on the Woman Dice channel? That sounds ridiculous. We only go for the maximum here.
I think that's why like our channel watch time is pretty incredible for the size of the channel, but like the views aren't as high as I would like them. I think that's just because we have a lot of very long stuff that people stick around and watch, but not as many people show up for because it's very long.
Yeah, well, we appreciate anybody who's watching our stuff. Thank you again. I hope that it's entertaining and you find it useful and you learn a lot and it inspires you to go and run your own games, go and like just do whatever. Like I only want to like really put positivity out there, because like again, this podcast is super fun and it's really just us, I guess, just living our lives and like talking about the hobby, right? Like,
true. I think if there's one thing I don't want to do though, it's I don't want to get too caught up in like the numbers and stuff and then end up doing something that I don't find fun. Like as much as I like to talk about the analytics and check them out and see what people are into and what people want to watch and stuff like that, I don't want to put myself in a position, and I don't want to put like the whole channel in a position where like we got to do something that is not fun for us to do, but might get a lot of views. I don't know. I would hate that.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm not about that. That stuff like will burn your soul out, right? Like, yeah, I would rather just do this into infinitum until the sun explodes.
Exactly. Like I know we would do really good with shorter stuff, but I don't want it to be something that is not fun to make. Like it's got to like that's kind of the priority.
Yeah, for sure.
And hopefully by the end of 2025, we will have met some of these goals. I think they are certainly attainable.
Yeah. I should. Yes, I should be able to run at least 1 or 2 games this year.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course. Oh man. But yeah, sorry. Watch out, folks. Come January, we're gonna run some Kane. There, I said it. If I don't do it, I'm a fool, as usual.
Taking a big swing, but let's go. Yeah, I think we could figure something out. I think if we just get the people together and the schedule, we can do it. And then, as far as YouTube goes, even if we just upload the audio with some sort of animated background or something, I think that could be fun. And it'll be easier to put on Spotify as well if we do that.
That is true.
Well, all right. I think that's going to do it for now. Folks down below, if you are on YouTube, or if you're on Spotify, actually, because you can comment there as well, just mention what you want to do tabletop-wise going into 2025. You could also post about, like, your resolutions or whatever, but I just figure, this is a tabletop channel, so. But yeah, what are you looking forward to this year as far as games go? What are you looking forward to doing? What do you hope to do? What are your goals? Do you want to run something? Do you want to play in something? Is there a game release you're looking forward to? Because I'm looking forward to Starfinder 2nd Edition, 100% for sure. That feels pretty obvious for me. I'm looking forward to the third part of the Mutants and Masterminds Chrono Crisis, because I kind of want to rip that apart and make a campaign out of it. Or I don't know if rip apart is the thing, but I should say, but expand on it. Those are the couple of things I'm looking forward to. Ramon, I don't know, any other tabletop stuff you're looking forward to in the next year?
No.
Or you just want to run some games?
Yeah, I definitely just want to run some games. I'm like, I don't think I need more new stuff. I need to use the stuff that I got. Like,
what? You don't want to just get things because they look cool and then never run them?
Oh my god! Like honestly, like I appreciate all of the humble bundles with you get like spend $3, get 6,000 RPGs, and I'm like, yeah, I appreciate that a lot. Like all of the cost savings and the fun theoretically, but like man, I don't even have time to run the things that I own. I don't think I'm gonna be able to run all these new things.
What? Oh my gosh, I've been wanting to play the spy game for years. I got that ages ago.
Yeah, I just sent Calvin like a one pager that Dragon Kid covered about how it's just basically Die Hard Die Hard 1 the game, which I thought was hilarious, and I was like, that seems like a fun thing to do. I definitely want to also try out. Okay, I'm excited for all of the silly one-page RPGs that I want to run and like get to, just like small stuff. I feel like we have all these like big swap like campaigns and stuff like that all happening all the time, but I want like just like little goofy stuff to happen as well. Like we should definitely run that on the channel. Like I want to do that. That sounds hilarious.
Yeah, Nakatomi Clone Works by Catherine Starr.
Yeah.
Who you might recognize from Legionnaire. Yeah, no, that is right up my alley. Die Hard is like a Christmas tradition for me.
Yeah, for sure. Mine too. I had to argue so many times about Die Hard being a Christmas movie. It totally is.
It is, because it's about family.
Yeah, there's lessons to be learned, and it happens on Christmas. Come on, what are you doing?
The themes are all there.
Yeah, the themes are all there.
All right, I think that's gonna do it for now. I don't know. Is there anything else we need to say about this year or next? Or I should say last year, for by the time this episode comes out.
I don't know. Well, 2024 was kind of wild, and it still kind of is wild. I mean, it's gonna always be wild. Every year is actually the wildest year ever. There's never a quiet year. That's not how life works, but hope everyone stays safe. Hope everyone gets some games in. Dream big, folks. One day you'll get there.
All right, and yeah, I am looking forward to everything that we are going to be able to do on the channel this year. Whatever it ends up being, I'm sure there's going to be stuff we're surprised by, that our current selves will be surprised that our future selves managed to do, even if it's just making a playlist of our campaigns. All right, so I think that's going to do it for the episode. As usual, check out the YouTube description. We got a bunch of cool stuff linked down there, a bunch of Lancer people we've talked to. Everyone we've mentioned in this episode, I'm sure we'll have some of their stuff down below. If you're on YouTube, check out all those links. Also, want to give a shout out to the Untold Stories project. I'm going to be in some upcoming campaigns that I'm very excited about and looking forward to. The Bowman will return, along with something else that I don't want to say just yet, but I'm very excited about. You ever make a character that you just like, you super vibe with? Like the character's in your brain like all the time? Because
yeah,
that's kind of happened to me.
I mean, that was basically Duke, and I still haven't really grown from that, so.
Yeah.
Like,
I may have found my Duke.
nice.
So yeah, look forward to that. As well, I want to make sure I shout out the Vault Companions channel on Twitch and YouTube, where I am at on Sundays playing in Mass Effect. The finale of that is coming up on the 5th of January, so you'll have a bit of time to catch up before that final episode comes out, and I'm sure it's gonna be a big one. I've had a blast hanging out with that group, and I am very much going to miss that game. Hopefully, we get to see some more from it in the future, but it's been really fun hanging out over there. So definitely swing by. It is at 6 EST, and they're short streams, like a couple of hours. So definitely swing by and check that out. And as for the stuff on this channel, there's gaming streams, of course, Baldur's Gate 3 and Armored Core 6 for Thursday and Friday, and then Sunday, starting after the Vault Companion stream finishes, the Sunday afterwards, wrapping up The Evil Within, and then eventually Fallout, whenever The Evil Within finishes. But that's all I can think of. Is there anything else that I'm missing, Herman, or anything else we should say before we head off?
No, I think that's it. We'll catch you guys, in January for I guess this is the wrap up, but for the first true official 2025 podcast where we will talk about something. I don't know. We don't know yet as the recording of this episode. But hopefully we have a cool next year, and then I'll have a way better grade for 2020 for the 2025 recap.
I think B- is pretty good. All right. Well, for all of our GMs and players out there who are looking forward to whatever they do in the next year, thanks for hanging out, and we will see you next time.
Bye, guys.